But yeah, so dude, I got some training rounds for that shotgun. I've been fucking around with it, and I got some Velcro on the side of it so I can actually put some shotgun cards on it.
Sorry, I need to turn my phone down a little bit. Yeah, it's it just went live, so there we are.
Yep. But yeah, I got some training rounds for that shotgun, and I got like the ST rounds that have the brass, like actual brass with hard plastic, so they're gonna work out pretty good.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a fun little toy to play with, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. Grace showed up. Hey, Grace.
As usual.
Yeah, she's a good one, boy.
Oh yeah. This over here. Hey, there you go. Get to light.
Hey, but yeah, I was. We enjoyed having Grace on Zero Hour the other night. Man, she was awesome.
Yeah, I got to rewatch it a little bit the other day. It was pretty good.
Yeah, she's a knowledgeable lady. You know, man, Don, what's up, buddy?
What's up, bud?
But yeah.
But yeah. Well, while we're waiting for people to get in here, thanks for showing up, y'all, already. I know I've been ghost for like a month, and I know I've been saying I need to do this more, and I'm going to. It's coming. I've still got to get laptop squared away and all that crap. So, cats are raising hell.
You went live.
Yeah, naturally. Well, they want to be part of the action.
That's I don't know what it is about them, man. They have a sixth sense.
But so just tonight, Half-Ass Ready. It's also Pops. He's gonna help me talk about something. If you've paid attention to a lot of my material before, I do not underestimate the crossover between kind of and an airplane, naturally.
You're going live.
Yeah, weird. I haven't heard an airplane in an hour, and now all of a sudden there's one.
About time for
big one.
The damn squirrel.
But the crossover between kind of the bushcraft world and kind of the tactical space, prepping space, whatever you want to call it, it's like a Venn diagram. Right there in the middle, there's stuff that we both use.
Yeah.
And honestly, I find a lot of little handy shit in like camping stores. Yeah. I find, just it's always something, it's goofy. It's like a salt shaker. It's never anything that's going to like win the battle for you. But the little quality of life things, they do come in handy. And tradecraft stuff. Hey.
Yeah, QV, what's up, brother?
But as far as tradecraft goes, like y'all may have heard I like picking locks. I love how locks work. I love breaking into stuff. How bad does that sound? But I love being able to overcome the challenge of like, hey, I lost my key, or my neighbor lost their key and they need it in their house. And when you start picking locks, you kind of find a way to just not pick a lock. You just find the weaknesses and things a lot easier, because I'm not an engineer. So, it adds that engineering flair, being like knowing how something works, like, all right, we can exploit that to get better. Yeah, hell, it's cold down here too, man. It ain't that bad tonight.
It's probably not as cold as it is where Cuke is, but
no, hell no.
Farmers up there in Michigan.
The Great White North. But so I'm always looking for like that thing, that one thing that, because you have like two pieces of kit, right? You have like your rifle, your ammo, what you carry your ammo in. Yeah. Well, the ammo and what you carry them in, they're made for one another, so they mesh together. Now, if you're not carrying like web gear, you have to have those ammo carriers and that ammunition meshed to you somehow. And that whole like, hey, if I zip tie this one pouch to this other pouch, it opens up this one thing over here and makes me bend better, and it's a lot more comfortable. Finding those little pieces to just make sure something it has a little more synergy with the thing next to it. The bushcraft stuff and the prepping stuff and the tactical stuff all have those things.
Sure they do.
Right. And
same thing prepping. You do the same thing prepping. You're always looking for another piece of equipment that actually bridges two pieces of equipment to have together, right?
Well, and prime example for you is all your generators. You have to you have a solar generator and like a gas generator. They both do the same thing, but they need different outlets. They need different connectors. They need a different place for storage. They both have their own little challenges. Like one of them, it'd be easy to keep all the tools to work on it with because you can work on everything else with those tools. The other one has tools just for it.
Yeah, I had to buy a special toolkit for it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're, that one little piece of kit, they're like, all right, it helped that whole system mesh better into, the body as a whole. And, I was just going through my workshop thinking about what I wanted to do for live tonight. And I just found one thing that I'm like, man, that was a freaking good idea. Somebody made $1 bajillion, right? So, and it's goofy. It's absolutely goofy. It's this thing. So it's a brush, a scraper with a soap bottle, and it's for cleaning out your mess kit.
Yeah. Mess kit cleaner. Yeah.
When I bought this, I was like, damn, what a wonderful rifle cleaning kit I have just found. Just a big goofy brush. I can keep an Otis brush in my pocket for small stuff, but just to get like crap off the outside of my rifle and to keep a little bit of CLP. And then I was like, man, I have a rifle cleaning kit. That thing is just perfect by itself.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not, it's not the coolest. It's definitely not something I'd be like, yeah, guys, check this thing out that I got, like I'm doing right now. But but it's one of those little pieces of kit where I'm like, damn, I can put a rag in my pocket to use for literally everything, which is already a shmug.
Yep.
And then this thing just helps me really clean my dishes.
Sure. And cleanliness in the field, it's pretty damn important. I mean, they beat us up with it in the services.
Yep.
You got your ass chewed all the time for not being clean, right? Not peeing in the wrong spot or or not discarding of waste in the proper way. You're always getting messed with over stuff like that. And didn't matter if you were a boot or not.
Yeah.
You got messed with there. But it destroys armies, disease, and disease comes from filth. And with something like that, again, you say these things won't win you the battle, but if you're not alive to fight the battle, maybe that thing did win you the battle. Maybe you just saved yourself from some botulism. Yeah.
Well, it instills a little bit of discipline, What's up, Intel?
Show and tell. Hi.
Yep. There's not a fine line for any of these things. It's just one of those like, okay, yeah, you need to be clean, but again, it's those unsexy things that nobody likes to train. I hate washing dishes in cold creek water.
Yep. I do
my little hands get cold. I get it. Well, maybe you need to build a fire and warm up some water to wash your dishes with.
Yeah.
It's one of those things get you thinking. It's like, all right, like my dishes need to be clean, and this might save me 4 or 5 points on my insanity. All right, that might be what it does. But that those pieces of kit that make things easier, they're infinite. They're infinite. Everybody's got a widget. Okay, everybody makes some kind of widget or a doodad or a thingamajig that does that one thing. It's the form factor in which I need that thing to be, right? So, for me, prime example, a freaking poncho, military USGI poncho. This is not just a poncho. In fact, it's rarely used as one.
Yeah.
It's usually a shelter.
Yep.
right? That's a bushcraft thing.
Yep.
That this is a tarpaulin with a hood that I can happen to wear if I get miserable enough.
Yep.
And in a military context, this isn't even for me. This is for my gun.
Yep.
This covers the crew served weapon so that it doesn't get rain on it or
Right.
dust or whatever.
Right.
And that little piece of kit, it goes everywhere with me. It's light, it's handy. I think I've used it once as a poncho, and I don't even think it was me. I think it was the photographer who used it because we were on a hike.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that thing is useful. Now, number of times used versus its usefulness, that those two things should not be weighed together on the same stat sheet.
You know what? If you lived in the southwestern United States and you carried a rain poncho around, people might think you're retarded. But
really weird.
you know what? It also rains in Arizona.
Weird.
and you know, sometime during the day you might need to find a shade that isn't a Sargasso cactus. So
yeah.
You know,
so
you know, I carry ponchos. Poncho is such a useful tool for so much more than just a poncho.
Right.
I mean, depending on your environment, I mean, it could be insulation too. It could be an extra layer of insulation. But I mean, I've gotten wetter wearing a poncho than I have. Well, I've got wetter in the poncho than I did if I'd just left it off, because it gets really hot inside them too. So
no, and that's the thing. Like, and if you put a poncho on, you're definitely not looking cool. All right, you're not going to dance with all the girls at prom wearing a poncho.
No, you're not.
But and you know, everything I have up here that I want to show, it's all the unsexy stuff. I feel like that. I feel like that's my niche. The unsexy things, training to make sure I can get that thing up as a shelter as quickly as possible. Maintaining it isn't fun.
Mm-mm.
Drying it out after you use it is not fun.
No.
Having, you know, making sure it's stored properly. You know, like I had to get this whole like bendy gear tie thing to keep my sanity so it doesn't unravel in my pack. You know, not fun, not sexy, you know, expensive for what it does, but that's the price I'm willing to pay.
Yeah, and again, man, you know, there are days when you're pounding that hike and you're thinking, my God, that's 2 pounds I don't need.
Yep.
Until you need it, you know. But I've rucked a poncho. I've rucked a poncho a lot, and but I honestly, I feel like a poncho and a Bic lighter are should be EDC, right? Everyday carry.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to this fire starting class one time talking about a Bic lighter. I went to a fire starting class, and Bic lighters are not sexy. Okay, that's not sexy. But I went to this fire starting class, and the guy had like 9 different ways to start a fire laid out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I can't remember who it was now. It's been years ago. You were in the Scouts.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, this guy had, I mean, all the shit, like char cloth and stone and flint, flint and steel, ferro rods, everything laid out. So he walked up to the thing and he pulls out a wad of toilet paper out of his pocket, a Bic lighter out of the other pocket. He lit the toilet paper and he threw it in some tinder and he said, I'm going to show you 9 more ways to start a fire, but why the hell wouldn't you carry a Bic lighter with you? That was pretty easy, right? And then he went on and I did learn.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first time I'd ever done friction fire.
Mm-hmm.
And I only worked about 2.5 hours and never even got smoke, but
weird.
Like, yeah. And that Bic lighter was a hell of a lot easier. I'm just, again, poncho's not sexy.
No.
Until you need a poncho.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I can only imagine during a Black Sky event, you're having to travel home. You get started home right at the end of your shift. It's almost dark, right? Then you get in this rain, torrential rain, and we have those here, and we have terrible rainstorms here, and you never know when they're going to come in these mountains, and so I can only imagine having to sit under a tree, I mean, what would be, it might even save your life depending on the time of year. I mean, you might die of hypothermia, but no, poncho's an essential part of equipment. And I don't care how many engineers you put on it. It's going to come out of their shop looking exactly like the one you just rolled up and stuck in your backpack, right?
Right.
I mean, they might make them a few ounces lighter. But, and again, man, I mean, talking about ponchos, if you guys are getting a poncho, get one, find one that has holes on the corners, pre-made holes on the corners for tent posts.
Yep.
Because it sure makes it a lot easier. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can make do with the $1 disposable ones. You can make a tent out of that. But get a good poncho, man. Get something that's not going to rip, something that you can use to, man, if it's nothing but storing your fire starting gear under while you're trying to start a fire in the rain. You know what I mean? You don't have to set it up as a damn tent. I'm just saying.
No. Well,
but don't buy the damn $1 one. Go ahead and spend the $9.
Yeah, I think I paid $12 for this.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, that's probably one of the smartest $12 I've ever spent. And I don't need it. I don't need it to perform day in, day out. I don't need it to be bomb proof. I need it to work the 1 or 2 times I need it to work.
Yep.
Because that's what it's emergency kit for me. It's not a damn every day.
Right.
Now, if I lived in the Pacific Northwest,
it might be.
I might need to splurge for a really nice poncho.
Yeah, but
or just put up with getting wet. Weird. Just getting wet and cold don't mean you stop.
You like extra long pinches? Is that what you said, Dan H? Oh, okay. Welcome in, Dan. Good to see you, brother.
But Dan needs an extra long poncho.
Yes, he's a pretty tall fella.
But you talked about fire, and this is just something I wanted to try. Okay, this is not. I'm not going to swear by this yet. I don't do gear reviews like that. But I think I ordered this from Target. It's a Swiss Tech fire making kit. Comes with the meh blade with it. I don't really care about the knife. But it's got like a freaking cheese grater for making kindling.
Yep.
It's got some fire tinder bundles in there. A magnesium stick. It's got one of the telescoping bellows pipes, and it's not a lighter, but oh my god, it's like one of those Ferro Sparker deals, right? It just sparks, but it stores stuff in there. And when I got this, I'm like, man, I kind of like the pouch more than I like anything else. I think I can make one better. Well, first thing I did, I tied lanyards on everything in here so I could dummy cord it inside this pouch so I wouldn't lose it. You can really see it on my cheese grater here, which if you need a cheese grater in the woods, you're living a lot better than me. But you grind a stick on this and it makes sawdust. And,
I've seen those. I've never tried one.
Me neither. And I was like, man, it is cool. I've yet to test it out. But, I feel like if I can get this to work, I can get a really cheap cheese grater and do the same thing. But cheese grater is only for making tinder, and that's why it probably won't be making it out on a trip, Yeah, right. Pencil sharpener. There you go, Dan. That's exactly what I was about to say. Like a good pencil sharpener can make you really good shavings to make a fire with. And if you get a lot of pencil sharpeners are made of magnesium, you can actually like shave them off and actually use them as a starter. If you get desperate enough.
Hello, Gen X Gemini. Good to see you, bro.
Hey. But that's one of those bushcraft things that it's like, man, if I can, because my mind thinks in like pouches, like groups, units. That's my fire making kit. And if I can simplify something down to a form factor that I agree with and chuck it in my pack, that is that synergy bridge.
Well, that's
And it's only got to be good enough the one time. It doesn't have to be the bomb-proof option. I have bomb-proof options. So, a Bic lighter is one of those bomb-proof options. Yeah, it can get wet. It can't get wet and shit, but you can still start a fire with it. That's where the unsexy training comes in.
Right.
But just knowledge can replace skills.
But did that pouch thing, what you're talking about with the pouch thing, like, so my handyman videos that I've been doing, if you'll notice, every damn one of them, I pull out a different bag or a different box that has those electrical or plumbing tools. We had the plumbing situation at your place.
Yep.
When I showed up, I had my box of plumbing tools. So no, the compartmentalization of these things makes you organized when you need these things. And I don't know where that comes from, man, whether that's a product of military training or a product of just being a prepper makes you do that.
Well,
and being a bushcrafter makes you do that.
Honestly, I think part of it is just some of my stupidity. If bag make fire bag go me.
Yeah,
right. I don't need to think about it. I can just go, oh, that's my fire bag. Cool, bang. Or hey, that's my random kit bag. Which if it's a random kit bag, it's still got one job.
Right.
It's the everything that couldn't fit in any other bag. Right. But then I got, my little unit for like in my get home bag, I've got a little unit for spare clothes.
Yeah.
And then, a med kit. A med kit's a prime example of being like the one box that does one job. Yeah. And then I have like the little survival unit. All right. That's got water purification tablets. Like if I take that pouch out of that whole pack, I can do exactly what I want to do, and get to where I need to get. Hi, Ryu. I see you. I know. Make a noise at me. Goodness gracious. They're up in the window now.
Of course they are. You went live.
I know. She's trying to get in here.
I shut the door or Maggie would be in my lap probably. I may open the door. You may show up.
But and that's an example of like that is just a bushcraft thing, and it could help me in a tactical environment. The main thing I want to get out of that is like experience and saying, hey, these options I am not a fan of or are a fan of. Right. And, it can stay with me because I know I can get them to work in the meantime. What colors or size? Push. Yep. Boo trauma kits separate. So in the get home bag video will come eventually. I've been promising that for like 2 years now. But in mine, there are 2 red bags Velcroed to the top of the bag. One of them is a trauma kit, and you can tell it's a trauma kit because it's got trauma scissors in the window. Right. And then the other one is Band-Aids, antidiarrheals, ibuprofen, all the boo-boo stuff. Yeah, we had argument with our internet before we even started.
Yeah, but, we already did that, Grace.
Yeah, lately for me, it's been nuts. But there's also been a lot of coronal activity.
Man, the sun has been pretty damn active. I seen a big solar flare the other day. Mm-hmm. That was my thing for when I first got into prepping. I mean, I've always been prepared, but I got into prepping. After reading 1 second after, of course, theirs was an EMP, but I got into that coronal mass ejection stuff, and wow, man, the sun has been super active this year. It's been crazy. There was a pretty large flare. It came directly towards Earth Monday night or Tuesday night. Anyway, you supposedly, of course, it's been so crappy down here, you couldn't have seen it. But supposedly, the Northern Lights was as far south as us.
Yeah, well, Mom took a picture with her phone, like in the night vision mode or whatever, and got a really cool picture. So, I mean,
Yeah,
that
well, it
was
was cool as
really
crap.
neat. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it's all UV. You can't see it. The reason you can see the northern lights is because they are so bright as far as UV light goes. It's like the brightest UV light that is almost visible, kind of thing.
yeah.
But so the equipment that bridges is one thing. The other equipment I wanted to talk about was kind of like mission essential kit. So outside of military context, okay, most of the time when you pack a bag, your mission is to get home, survive, whatever that mission may be, right? That mission set. I have different mission sets for me because I train different things. Today it could be surveillance. Tomorrow it could be escape and evasion. You know, whatever training I want to get in. Just rucking that has a whole plan. You know, gear set for me. We'll use this as a context of like reconnaissance. That's kind of where I'm getting into. It is my theory that if any conflict were to erupt, a lot of local people, if you live in a smaller, less populated area, if there is not a major armed force that you are a part of or backing, you will take up a scout role. You will be a reconnaissance role kind of thing. Gathering intelligence. Intelligence is key. There are things that you know about your area that somebody who's coming to help might not know. What you know is called intelligence. So saying like, hey, listen, I know my area. There are 3 mountain passes that we can go screw up today, and it will take 3 weeks for somebody to get up here. You know, that. So in the reconnaissance role, there's one thing that's usually in my kit, and it's going to be a little shocking, but it's a tape measure. All right, this one's a little cheapo. I bought from a dollar store or Harbor Freight, and then I spray painted it tan, so if I dropped it, I could lose it. And but the tape measure does a couple things for me. If I'm gathering a reconnaissance on an area, if I need to measure the width of something, I can measure a 6-foot stick or a 10-foot stick, and I can go pace out things. I can measure doorways. I can measure gate doors. I can measure fences. I can measure all kinds of things. And that's part of your intelligence, right? If I need an escape route for somebody and my job is to gather the intelligence for that route, there needs to be precise measurements, something that you can't argue with. I can't just say, I think it's a 6-foot fence. You need to know.
You can use a tape measure or a measure stick or anything. You can use a stick, but but a tape measure you can use if you know. Say you're on a hilltop looking down at a highway, right? And it's a 2-lane highway. The right of way in North Carolina is 45 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So you measure from one ditch to the other ditch on your tape measure and say it's 5 inches from where you're sitting to that 45 feet. So then you know if you take that tape measure and go out, 15 inches, you just went, there's 300 feet, 150 feet. But you can scale that measurement up from where you're sitting and get a pretty good guesstimate of how far they have to travel to get to whatever or other thing. How long?
One thing that I've learned in reconnaissance is like it's really hard to measure a bridge.
Yep.
A bridge is a dead space area. It's open. You're very vulnerable. Throughout history, militaries have been stymied by bridges. You don't want to be the guy standing on a bridge with a tape measure.
No.
To measure it.
No.
Right. You don't want to be the guy found under the bridge measuring the gap from the water to the top of the bridge. You don't want to be that guy. That's a grand way to not be on any more missions.
Yeah. Well, your mission might be guarding the pearly gates after that. But.
Yeah. But if I have a tape measure where I have a known measurement of something.
Yep.
And I have a map and a compass. I can measure a stick to whatever. I usually do 10 inches, right? So 10 inches. And you can use that as a reference point. So if you know you're this far away and you place that 10-inch stick by that, in view near the bridge. Yep. Tree felling method for bridges. Yes. But you use that stick in line with the bridge and you go, okay, if this stick is 10 inches, 6 feet away from me and that bridge is this far, it'll probably be if you're 1,000 meters away, that bridge should be about 6 inches long or something like that. If I, whatever it is, I'll have to read my notes again. I'm still practicing. But you can guess. I can say, hey, that bridge is 130 something feet. It's not 140. I'm a 10-foot margin of error at 1,000 meters away, not being found measuring your bridge. And I've seen 2 cars pass each other on the bridge. So I know I know it's this wide at least.
Yeah.
Right. Using those measurements to gather your intelligence is important. And this is all coming from me learning marksmanship, distance marksmanship and learning to measure things with mills and trying to retrain my brain to be farther thinking. I can do stuff here with mental math rather than go actually do it. And that's super important. And that reconnaissance job requires a lot of the little stuff that synergizes Kit to make me a lot more effective at that job.
Well, recon takes time.
Yes, it does. And
recon is one of those things that takes time, and you it's just like fishing, right?
Yep.
You just throw your bobber in the water and you pull out a fish, right? That's how it works for everybody.
Yeah.
No, recon the same way. I mean, you're going to be at the same place for a long time to get good recon.
Yep.
You need hours of observation, maybe even days.
Yeah.
To get proper, depending on what your mission is, right? Depending on what your mission is. But
and a lot of like Cav scouts in the Army, I have some tables and stuff for them. There's things you don't even know you have to measure. So if you have a Hemet truck, which is a 6-wheeled military vehicle that hauls a crap ton of stuff, the trailers are so long and the truck is so long, you need to measure a curve to know if that truck can even turn around that bend in that road. Wow. You could totally eliminate a route by measuring a curve and going, yep, they can't come this way. We got to go 3 miles east to find a new road. And that's uber nerd side of reconnaissance. That is like,
but again, that's what scout snipers, that's what scouts do. That's what they do. They are the king of getting intel. And look, that may or may not play on your homestead, but believe me, recon is going to be incredibly important for you gathering intel during the Black Sky event, during whatever SHTF thing is going on at your place.
Well, you have to gather intelligence for the homestead. I mean, if you
especially
can't,
when you're in a defensive position, and that is, believe me, when you're a 4-15 team, you're on defense.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going on offense.
No, and you can't afford open combat anyway. That's the main thing is like I need to find people to get news, and recon is a way to do that. Human intelligence, just gathering human, or you need to at least like understand where the places are that you can be ambushed from on the homestead. Right. If you have a giant hill overlooking your house, you might want to go up there and see what it looks like to see where you might be able to hide at your house if they get a sniper up there.
Right.
You're
right.
Or different flanking positions to that area. Like, hey, I know if there is a guy up there, I can go through the woods over here and he won't even know I'm on the way up there to deal with him.
Yeah.
I cannot stress enough the intelligence side of anything. I mean, your local police department, sheriff's department, whoever it is, if you got really good dudes working there, their job is intelligence, and they are going to flex intelligence. Now, they're doing it in a wildly different context. They're not doing it for survival. They're doing it for the job, you know. Right. True. Also true. Hey, say hi to everybody real quick.
I'm the sniper. You're way safe, Mr. John.
I'll be right back, Pop.
Do it. You do your thing, brother. Yeah, I'm. And the thicker these get, the worse of a sniper I become. But I do enjoy pretending to be a sniper. It's a lot of fun. But you know, at my age, I'm training to be productive as a patrol member. You know, I'm training not to be a burden. I just keep trying to make sure everyone thumb finger groove just to know if you have nothing else.
Yeah, nah, I know where an inch is on my thumb, and I know if I stretch my from thumb to middle finger, that's 6.5 inches, which is, I got big hands for a short guy, so usually it's like 5 for people.
That's right, Dan. We've when Landon, especially when Landon first got back from military service, we did a lot of that. We did a lot of, like practice clearing your own home when you come home some nights, and do it at the day and do it at night. It's different. We did all that. That's incredibly important, Dan. I mean, of course, you ain't no rookie, Dan. I mean, you know your way around.
Mm-hmm. Well, but taking the eyes of the bad guy gives you a lot of power. You looking at your house like, man, I know exactly what I would do to break in here. You know that place the best. You live there. You know that squeaky window over in the spare room. You can bust that thing open with a pry bar if you need to. Like you can just break that lock because that screw that you haven't tightened down in a year is there. That that knowledge makes you a really good bad guy for you.
I recently got some new metal in my body, Vanessa Kitty. I'm glad I don't have titanium in my elbow, but I do got 10 new steel rings or titanium rings in my sternum. So pretty cool.
And on the intelligence front, there is a there is a certain type of person, right? That is just really good at talking to people, man. Like I had friends I served with who, I swear, they could get somebody's like social security number, their mother's maiden name, their dog's name, the school they went to, all the security questions. They could get that just talking to somebody at a bar, right? Just because you want to go sneak around in the woods with your binoculars and go measure stuff like me doesn't make you a great recon guy, or it doesn't make you a spy. Typically spies are characterized by how they deal with people, right? It's the social engineering aspect of it. There's some people just have that gift of gab, right. And on the intelligence front, there is that person doing that job, that intelligence that they get. Like, hey man, I was at the bar last week and talked to one of the local occupiers, and they said that there's an op coming up, and it's this week, and that he said he's been operating out of this area for a while, and like you can guess things. You right. can guess things really easily just by stuff people let fly.
Yeah.
There are really good people who are very good at paying attention to the stuff people say, how they react to a question.
Yep.
They don't even have to answer it. You can go, I'm pretty sure he would have said no to that or yes to that. There's a whole, oh shit. Hell yeah.
Hoorah.
But it's kind of like our radios, right? You and I are not using encrypted radios. we have to do our best to, if we know bad guys are listening, you and I have to come up with one way to talk so that only we know what we're talking about. And then there's the whole intel side to that where we might put out spurious things that might throw them off from what we're actually doing. But we also have to listen to what other people are saying.
Yeah.
We also have to listen to what other people may be planning on the radio if they know we're listening or not.
Yeah. My opinion, you get more use from a radio listening than you do talking.
Mm-hmm. So and how many people do you know that know Morse code?
Not many.
Yeah.
Again,
you know,
in my generation, there's probably more so than your generation.
exactly.
But,
I don't know Morse code, but
yeah,
I have Morse code reference material that,
sure,
like, if I can try to,
the
like,
Boy
use
Scout
it.
handbook.
Yeah, weird how it's in the Scout handbook.
Weird. I say this I say it every time I'm on the damn live. I always end up talking about the Boy Scout handbook.
It's got everything in it.
Awesome reference material, man.
But you know, and our, for leaving messages to each other. If I have to come to your house and can't find you, where are we hiding a message? Those things, like, we can talk about them now. Nobody's going to know where they're at. And then even if they found it, you and I have coded a way we can talk in those to where even if they found it, they're not going to know anything. So
Right.
that is part of the intelligence front that just protects us in the long run. Future me is going to thank me for coming up with that. Right? The future me is going to be like, oh, thank God you didn't say put coordinates on the note. Like,
Right.
else I'd be a goner right now.
Mm-hmm.
That area of my training, I think I was exposed to at a really interesting time. As far as everything was going, it was before the war in Ukraine, where kind of warfare technology just took off with drones and, you know, insane shit going on. I mean, even trench warfare has changed because of the presence of drones. So a centuries old style of warfare has had to adapt in the matter of a couple years to contend with a new tool. And the guys I was exposed to and the things that we trained on because of my job, it opened my eyes, which I'm not a special operator or anything,
Right.
but it opened my eyes to, like, hey, I can do a little more here.
Yep.
And I'm gonna be thankful that I did more in the end. Almost all of it's unsexy. All of it is not cool. It doesn't make you look cool going to buy a code book from Barnes and Noble. You're not gonna. That's not where you want to be if you're single looking for a wife. You know, it doesn't make you the really interesting guy. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
And you know, the power of observation. I read a book while I was in the military. It's called How to Think Like Sherlock Holmes by Dr. Konnikova. And the whole premise of Sherlock Holmes is that he observes things. And she broke it down in the book of how a normal person could think like that without a photographic memory, because it's kind of established that Sherlock Holmes had a photographic memory, almost nearly. He did forget things, but that's because he missed details, not because he forgot it. He missed a detail. And deductive reasoning is getting all the information and then just finding the outcome through what is most likely to happen. In the book, she talks about a mind attic and like memory saving techniques. But the first example in the book that she uses is, I think it's the Hound of Baskerville. Watson is talking to Sherlock Holmes and says, and Sherlock asked him to do something, and Watson's like, Sherlock, I cannot do what you do. You are kind of the guy. Everybody comes to you. And Sherlock's like, no, Watson, I simply observe. And he's like, for example, how many stairs are there to 221 Baker Street? And Watson's like, I have never counted them. How would I know? And Sherlock says, well, you walk up them every day.
Yeah.
You see them every day when you come over here. You don't have to count them. Imagine the stairs in your mind and count them. And Sherlock says, there's 21 stairs to 221 Baker Street, and I've never once counted them. You know, that level, which even then, that's not explaining how to get to this level of intelligence, but it really opened my eyes to being like, okay, I might need to refine my intelligence gathering and tailor it to me because I'm the only one that controls this mind.
Yeah.
And there is a guy out there who can, like, their brain works like an Excel spreadsheet. It's not me.
Right.
Mine is a flow chart. If this, then this, and it filters down to almost from changing a tire to paying taxes to making sure that I get the right food for the photographer when she asks me to go to the store. Right. All right. There's a flow chart that starts with, duh, I woke up this morning.
Right.
That's where it starts.
I feel you. Yeah.
And logistics, great point. Logistics win wars. We are not going to get resupplied by a Blackhawk. Nope. I'm sorry, I can't afford one. I don't know anybody with one.
Nope.
If I did, that might be in the in the stars for us, but no, it's not. The logistic train for us is going to look. It's going to look like a cash system. It's going to look like a network of people that we've cultivated. It's going to be a barter system. It's going to be like, hey man, listen, that stuff I lent you last year, I need it today, and I'll give you a chicken. Or hey, I promise you 3 dozen eggs in the next couple weeks. I need X. I need hay today.
Right.
The logistic front for us in any situation is logistics to you right now. 99% of the people we know and talk to is we try to plan ahead with some groceries. We put the groceries in the fridge and we toss them out when they get bad, or we eat them all. That's about it. We are storing things, like we are storing long distance food. But we don't have a network to deliver that to things. There is a the reconnaissance element for us can help with logistics. Knowing where your watering holes are, great point, Raph. Knowing where our watering points are, knowing where our nearest network member is, knowing that, hey, if they do have to run to my shed and grab something real quick, it's in a bag ready to go. I'm not going to add 3 minutes on to my extract time because they have to load something. There is a whole side of intelligence for us that helps with the logistics. That is a topic for another day, I think, because that is something I'm going to need my notes on. I do have a extensive log of logistics ideas, but I do want to get into something. So I talked about tradecraft earlier, talking about the little tiny things that I get. So like I told you, I pick locks. I know a lot about picking locks. I know for a fact what I can pick a lock with, what I can't pick a lock with. I know different kinds of locks. I know different kinds of picks. I know different ways to get around different kinds of locks. I know the weaknesses of most locks. I know the strengths of some locks. There is a whole side of my brain that is taken up with B&E. One thing that I kind of want people to start thinking about, especially with recent news out of the UK that you and I talked about the other day. Man, when it comes time, the canning industry recording deactivating adhesives. What? Oh God.
Yeah.
That's tragic.
Yeah. Well,
I hope that's not true. But so in the UK, people are getting arrested for some offhand BS. All right, I don't want to get too far into it, but we all need to either train some people we know or learn ourselves on how to resist a little bit. I think there are cousins across the pond. What happens there is a good reflection of our culture that might someday get to that. Yeah, that we don't really like them very much, but they are friends of ours, unfortunately. Which I am not the guy. I'm not the guy to teach everybody how to get out of handcuffs. But one thing you can buy if your photographer at home likes to take you to the dollar spot at Target all the time, a box of bobby pins. All right, Cigar Details. This is a Davidoff Late Hour Churchill. Very good cigar. I'm celebrating a good friend today. We put him in the ground, and this is me celebrating him. I haven't smoked in a couple weeks, so good for him. I hope his family flourishes this week. Poor things. But so we've all seen a bobby pin. Well, thank you. We've all seen a bobby pin. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to see that, but it's got the two big nodules there. It's got the ridges, a straight edge. We all need to start thinking about what level of resistance you're going to be. I know what level of resistance I'm going to be, and that's effing hostile. No, and most people don't, Dan. And honestly, I want to teach people some things that they might be able to show somebody in their life that can. I think we all have that one person. All right, I scare people. I scare a lot of people, and thank the Lord I'm on the right side. Okay, for everybody else involved. But anyway, so a bobby pin, several uses. Not only would you look really cool pulling a old rusty bobby pin out of your pocket and pinning back your girl's hair, she would really love that if you did that. Yeah. But bobby pins are really good shims for handcuffs. All right, the two little nubbins there, pinch those off with a pair of side cutter pliers and sand it down so you don't cut yourself, and then pin this into your belt loops. Put it in a place where if you get handcuffed in the front, you can get to it. Handcuffed in the back, you can get to it. If you get into the criminal world, I highly suggest checking out Ed's Manifesto or Ed Calderon. That guy's on some voodoo, crazy Mexican juju, man. That guy's the bomb, and he's a scary guy too. Yeah, and I chose to be peaceful too. All right, for now. but no, keep a couple cents. All right, putting it in your pocket can give you some peace of mind, knowing that if something happens to you that you don't like, you might be able to correct that problem. Yes, the horseshoe style bobby pins are great because they're they're thicker, and as far as like width goes, but also they're usually made of things that you can sharpen. They make really good box openers, if you know what I mean. So you don't need to get like super crazy spy stuff is really what I'm getting at. A couple bobby pins, knowing how to use it, you're replacing gear with skills. And nobody, like, listen, I don't have flowing locks of hair, neither do you, Pop.
Nope.
No one's going to bat an eye if they find a bobby pin in your pocket.
No,
Right?
they're not.
No, you can just, I was picking up trash off the ground, dude, found a bobby pin.
Yep.
Or, hey, my wife makes me carry an extra bobby pin because she always loses hers. There you go. Might need
to pin my beard down.
There you go. Well, there's other uses for them too. I mean, they're not the most useful thing, but they can do a lot. And if you know a lot about shimming handcuffs, which it's not always going to be handcuffs, but it's one vector to which you might be restrained by either authority and non-authority alike.
Right.
There's times for everything. And I use this example. I want everybody to really look into stuff like this. It's especially the ladies in our life. The ladies in our life, we're not always around. And there are things that they need to know. The more they know, the scarier they are, the more happy I am sending them off into the wild blue yonder, which, listen, mine's a handful. All right. I'll go pay her bail for whatever she done to you, but I'm not apologizing. You probably earned it.
Right.
All right. So there is I do want to preface this, like, practice it ethically and legally, but prepare to be able to do it the other way if you have to. I want you to survive and tell me about it later. I'll come bail you out. You can tell me about it all then.
Right.
Yep. There are really big paper clips that work really good. But if you know anything about handcuffs, there's ways where you can't shim them. So I like bobby pins because I can actually bend it and get it in the hole and actually turn the keyhole instead of shimming if it's double locked. That's a whole topic, and there are better people to explain it than I am. Like lockpicking lawyer, that guy's awesome. I've learned so much from that dude. And Bosnian Bill, he's no longer like active on YouTube, but his videos are amazing if you want to learn how to pick locks.
Going to get coffee.
All right.
I'll be back.
So for us, there's an area of my mind that is occupied with lockpicking, and if you want to try it, it'll teach you a lot about just your home security and the locks you have around you. You're gonna be like, wow, this lock sucks. I guarantee it, because that's what I did. And it'll make you learn other ways to secure your house. Go to Southern Ordnance, South Ord, and buy the PXS 14. That is the best beginner set of lock picks you can buy for the money. I think it's going for like $40 right now. Yeah, smart locks. Oh God. I've even learned how to like rekey stuff. I've got the tools. I can cut keys at my house, like if I need a key. All right, and I keep some key blanks and stuff. The Pop's phone. Good Lord, thought there was shooting going on over there. Like one really good lock that's cheap that everybody can buy if you want to defend against lock picking. Unfortunately, it is the opposite for when somebody knows that lock and wants to get into your house. It's the Kwikset 2 set of locks. It has the little square next to the keyhole. It is a, I don't want to say coded. It's got features in it that only a key can open. But it doesn't say somebody can't kick your door in. But there are people who look for those locks and know, or the former version of those, that know that they can just break this lock in a certain way with a screwdriver. So, do your research but there are good locks out there. American Lock Company. If you have a boat trailer or equipment that you don't want stolen, American locks have some of the strongest steel, best quality, and the best anti-lock picking measures out of almost any lock for the same price that you can buy. They're a little more expensive than Master Lock. Do not put your faith in any Master Lock. There's not a Master Lock out there that I would put on anything I don't want took. That is the first thing I learned, lock picking. Oh, look.
Yeah.
Went for coffee and came back with a dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maggie. Maggie.
Hey, Bubby.
Is that my friend? Are you my buddy? That's my buddy right there.
Yeah.
Happy girl. And it's also taught me ways to defeat locks or permanently disable them if need be. And I've found there are locks that I am not skilled enough to pick. That is for damn sure. But unfortunately, most of those locks I cannot afford, so I can't put them on my house.
Yeah.
I can pick most locks, but there are some where I'm like, that'd be cool to have at my house if I won the lottery.
It's a neat hobby, man. It's just a neat hobby to start with.
It's really cathartic, man. I mean, just sitting down, like putting a lock in a vise and just going to work on it, man. And it's really satisfying when you unlock it, and then you're like, man, I wonder what this kind of lock is like. I wonder what this kind of lock is like. All right, I've picked one of those. I know I can pick it and try it. It's fun. And I mean, hell, when I first got my lock picks, I just walked around to where I lived in the barracks and just started picking everybody's door locks. I was like, I thought it was fun. With permission.
There you go.
But it was fun. And then you can move on to cars and commercial locks and commercial doors. And I have a whole backpack full of tools. I can get into damn near anywhere. Yeah,
this high-tech stuff we're dealing with now, of course, cars are my game, but it's you can
Sam Fisher.
But it's really hard to steal a car anymore.
Oh yeah, well,
but you don't always need the car, right?
Mm-mm.
You may
sure don't
inside the car. So getting into a car, so these things should be considered if you're storing shit in your car, your vehicle,
especially firearms.
Yes,
that is the number one place in America guns are stolen from by a mile.
Just don't be a dumbass and advertise I have a firearm in my car,
by having a Ruger sticker, a Glock sticker,
or friggin', I swear I cannot figure that shit out.
That's counterintelligence. That's next time we talk.
I just can't figure that shit out. People do that shit all the time, or
no,
you're just advertising. I have a gun in my car.
Yeah.
American flag's one thing. Even your your military designation on your car, that's probably a little more information than people need to know.
Oh, but yeah.
Now, when you're driving down the road with that big Second Amendment, I'm a Second Amendment supporter on your all the way across the freaking hood of your truck.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And honestly, just from what I know about getting in cars, like, man, there's not a car out there I can't get in.
No.
And the thing is, I don't have to break your window for most of them. Like, there might be 10% of cars I need to break your window, but everything else, man, you give me 5 seconds, I can get into a car, no problem. I've got the tools.
Well, Ralph, my grandma used to say when I was a little boy, and this was the days of before people even locked their doors. People used to ask my grandma why don't she lock her door when we went to church on Sunday, and she always said, "Look, a lock only keeps an honest man honest."
Yep.
And so your most secure things here, but again, we talk about that a lot and I don't care what we're talking about. We're talking about bushcraft. We're talking about tactical. We're talking about prep. And this tool is the tool you need to be sharpening, man. This tool, and I mean, you need to be training and practicing your preps and using your preps and thinking about your situation and what you need to improve your preps. But you always need to be training this in here, and that's one of the reasons the handyman series I started it. I'm not getting a lot of views on it. Don't really care.
Me neither.
It just started because I felt like everybody needed a little reminder that just because you can pick up the phone today and call an electrician, carpenter, plumber, mechanic, don't mean when the shit hits the fan that you can do that, right?
Yep.
So I don't think anybody needs to be an expert to get by, but you need to be aware of what you need if you need to do that, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, part of it is like you and I have talked about this.
Yeah.
I need to know things because when it comes down to me being the authority for the mile around my house, I need to know what's there, and I need to be able to, if I'm like, hey man, I know there's a transfer station down the road that probably needs some beefing up, remember a couple of years, it was 2 years ago now when those people shot that transformer down by Fort Bragg.
Yeah.
And those people were without power for like 2 months. That might be vital infrastructure for a bit. And it's like, hey, this is a threat right now. I need to know what I can do. And looking at it like a bad guy saying, yeah, I could shoot it through the fence, or I could pick that master lock number 3 on the gate and get in there and do whatever the hell I please and cause some real damage. There's a whole side of just like, hey, I know I can get into it, and if I know I can get into it, I'm a dummy.
Yeah,
anybody can get into it.
I noticed JS Genesis showed up, so we're not talking about aliens tonight, JS. We can talk about aliens if we damn well want to.
Hell yeah.
Well, hey, Russ, it's funny. I don't have any paper that says I'm any of those things, but when my wife and I got married, we didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to pitch it out of, right? And I couldn't afford to do any damn thing, right? And I sure as hell couldn't afford to hire a carpenter. So, necessity was the mother of invention, right? Yeah. Well, yes, definitely. Yes, definitely are a thing, JS. I that's not funny, dude. I'm not laughing. Because no shit, man. That's a messed up situation.
Yeah, it is, man. God bless.
Yeah,
Jessica was talking about that the other day, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, dude. We back in the 90s, where we're at in North Carolina, had the largest population of Ukrainians in the whole damn United States. We almost had as many Ukrainians as they had in Ukraine. And well, it was not so bad for the Ukrainians, but it was really bad for the poor people who lived here. They kind of pitched them out of the Section 8 housing because the government was paying more rent than the state government, right? So these people who, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all of them needed public housing, but there were people there who needed public housing, right? They couldn't do without it. And they ended up being pitched out, and it got very ugly. And yeah, I'm Yeah, Jez, that's a messed up deal, man. I didn't pay much attention to it until I started seeing this fraud thing, and it got it's just that's just insane. But anyway, we weren't talking about those kind of aliens, JS. We're actually talking about bushcrafting, but.
Well, hey, man, you and I, we were just in the Boy Scouts, man. Like, we were brought up when bushcrafting was still like an odd science. You know, there were all these new ways to do things that weren't working, and we ended up going back to the old ways for things, and it just wasn't called bushcrafting then. You know.
Well, it's funny. You know, it's so funny when we started. When we started, we were, you know, checking out. It was talking about fire starting even and ferro rods and blah blah blah. And by the time we get to the end of that journey, we're all the way back to making our own charcoal and using a flint and steel.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It's still easier than a damn friction fire.
Yep, sure as shit is.
Yeah,
I can do it. I just don't want to.
Yeah, no doubt.
96 raw. But man,
we've done that, Dan. We've done that. We
did.
We did. We actually made a tower out of bamboo poles and lashing. We did a lashing thing. And that same trip, we made a damn catapult at this camporee. We made a catapult. We talk about this all the time because it's one of the most fun things we ever done. And we had to launch biscuits with this catapult. So we had to bake the damn biscuits too in a Dutch oven. And hardest damn work I've ever done to throw a biscuit 100 feet. But no shit, we did that, man. Yeah, we've built a guard tower with lashing and bamboo poles, dude.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That was a fun trip, man.
That was a great trip, man. We still talk about it.
Yeah. Well, and it's just crazy the stuff we used to make.
Yeah.
Hey, well, Genesis, you got to do with what you got. Hell, I bet I needed a little help wiring up my new building, but I did most of it by myself, and that was the first time I'd ever done shit like that.
Yeah, it's not burned down or anything.
Not yet.
I figure if it makes it through the first flick of the switch.
Oh yeah, we're good. No sparks, no smoke, no.
The light came on and no smoke. I'm good.
I didn't even hear the switch pop. Damn, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, JSR. You know, I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but I tell my wife this story. But when Lowe's come out with this commercial where they would have somebody come by and install all the shit you bought, right? So this guy had installed his ceiling fan and he turns it on and it starts wobbling all cattywampus and smoking, and then it just flies out the damn window, the bay window, right? Out in the yard. And so my wife and I've probably installed 85 ceiling fans for her since we've been together, right? and so I tell her, we're watching this commercial, and I told her, I said, that's exactly what I expect to happen every time I flip the switch. I put one up. And she says, well, you sure don't look nervous. I said, no, it's all inside. It's all inside. I look calm, but I'm telling you, that's a true story. Every time I flip the switch, I'm like, oh shit, this is going to not go well.
That plumbing job I did, you were right about the PEX and the shark bites, man. I put that thing together and I'm like, there is no fucking way.
There's no way that's not going to leak.
And I hooked it up and I did the lean back, grab the switch and grab the valve.
Way back here. Have a bucket right beside you.
Yeah, and then I did it like a little bit and I heard the water rush. I didn't see a leak. I'm like, turn it all the way on.
Let her rip in.
And I must sat there with my jaw dropped for like 10 minutes. Like there is no.
It's amazing. First time
I'm gonna sit here until it leaks.
Now I push them son bitches in and just go on. Turn the water off. Then I come back later and look or listen. Do I hear any drips?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, put
No,
my ear to the floor, be like, I don't hear nothing down there.
yeah, that shit's amazing, man. No, I'm a big SharkBite fan.
Yeah, those things are awesome, man. Yeah, nah, I mean, I like changing the air filter, right, in my furnace. The first time I done it, I was like, well, I'm pretty sure I put it back the way it was.
Yep.
I was like, I looked at the arrow. I was like, really simple. It's like, 3 screws to take the panel off, switch them out. And then I was like, while I was in there, I'm like, maybe I can make this work a little better. And I just put it in there, turned it back on, made sure it worked. And I was like, all right, maybe it's a little wobbly in there. And I like bent like the little like tension bar for the thing. And then I closed it back up, and then it started rattling. I'm like, oh, I didn't fix shit. Go back. I unbent it, and I'm like, all right, it's fine.
Yeah. But again, man, but these are again life skills. These are life skills you just learn by living life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I guess the point of all this bullshit is live your life, right? Don't you quit banking on the telephone and the computer and somebody else showing up and your pocketbook, whether you have the freaking money or not. It's about a sense of self-worth, a sense of self-education, a sense of I can do this now. I can't. And again, that don't make you an expert. And what would take an expert, 4 hours to do might take you 4 days to do. But it's about your journey. It's about and it's about you being able to further yourself on your journey. When I don't know, I just enjoyed doing the thing. Just putting the HVAC unit in the house. I'd never done that.
Yeah, and that was a damn job.
Oh, it was a hell of a job, but I had an expert.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had and he didn't. He wouldn't let me screw up. But he let me learn how it works, right?
Yeah, you and I could probably do it again.
Oh, no doubt. And
I learned a lot.
Yeah, it ain't about it. Just wasn't about being an expert. It was about and it was another teachable moment for him.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was like, oh, great, I can teach him something, and he did. He taught me a lot that day.
Yeah. And I was thankful to have you around. You'd done a lot of things, and especially anything with cars. Like, man, my brain still doesn't work on vehicles, but I can check the oil. I can change the oil. I can change the tire. I can put stuff where I found it. There is a contingent of people who didn't have that.
Right.
Those people, right. I'm telling you, man, there are some things at this house there. I'm like, I don't need to call Dad for this. But what I can do is boot up the old YouTube and find it. All I need to do is just see it done right now. And then, that might solve it. Honestly, the online presence for just like home repair is awesome right now. I don't know if it'll stay that way, but it's pretty awesome right now. And do anything car related. I mean, there is on your car. I don't care what it is, what year, what brand or anything. There is somebody working on it on the internet, and they will show you because they had this problem. They're like, I need to film this, and I did it right the first time. Show you.
I take it as a personal challenge not to ever look at YouTube or crawl under the hood of anything. It's a personal challenge.
That is your thing.
Well, I've been doing it since I was a kid, dude. And we didn't have, I mean, really, seriously, I've been doing it since I was a kid. And hey, JS, I got a story for you on light switches in a car. One day I'll tell it. Yeah. I had a $100 Chevette that had 3 switches, right? One switch turned the ignition on. One switch you turned on until it started, and then you turned it off to turn the starter off. And the other switch turned everything in the damn car on. I'm talking wipers, lights, fan, radio. If it was a bright, sunny day and you wanted to hear the radio, you had to drive down the road with your windshield wipers moving. And your lights. That's a true story, sir. That is a true story. I gave a dude $100 for the car.
Hell yeah.
Was,
damn you, cash for clunkers.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That car, it caught on fire. I didn't even put a tag on it, man. I borrowed a tag from somebody. Right? The damn thing, it caught on fire down by the liquor store on 7th Avenue. I mean 5th Avenue right there. Anyway, it got caught on fire by the liquor store, and I pulled over and I grabbed my tool belt. I was working building houses at the time, and I grabbed my tool belt and my Stanley thermos out of it and walked home.
The county crushed that one for you.
I have no idea what happened to that car. I just know that it wasn't mine after that.
It probably got involved in a high-speed chase and then got crushed.
Not a Chevette. It would not have been a high speed.
not the Chevette. A slow-speed chase.
Yeah, it would have been a chase. Let's put it that way.
But, all right. Well, I'm going to get in here, warm up my hands. It's getting a little chilly out here.
Big dog.
Yep. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by, man. It means a lot. I know this is infrequent, and I'm not announcing these. I need to actually announce them like a couple hours ahead. But thanks for everybody who put the word out. That was awesome, G&G. I've got a new video in the works. It'll be up, whenever I get to it. And then we're going to work on some other stuff from the list when I get to them. So, if y'all have any questions, holler at me. Pops, you got anything?
I'm good to go, brother.
All right, man. Thanks for stopping by, dude.
All right, pal. Anytime. I'll see you soon.
All right. Later, guys. Have a good night. Stay safe.
Night, everybody.